Well, good morning or good afternoon, Year 7, whenever you're deciding to watch this. I hope you've read a little bit about Betty Cadwaladr, and I just wanted to give context to the war in which she was actually a nurse in, okay? So the Crimean War was between 1853 and 1856, so you might want to jot that down, okay? It was, if you think about the period, it was the mid, sort of Victorian period, okay? Britain was very powerful at the time. It was a great colonial power. What does colonial mean? Colonial means going across the globe and taking countries that aren't yours, really. Okay, this is something that the British Empire was infamous for. And in this period, they were very powerful. They were sometimes called the world policemen. They sort of thought they could decide things all across Earth. And in this war, they went in with France to defend, well, they said that they were defending Turkey. And who were they fighting? They were fighting the Russians, okay? So that's the sort of premise, that's the why it started, okay? I've got some old cigarette packet cards. I don't think you've seen something like this before. These are very old. They're something like 40 to 50 years old, okay? They're not as old as the Victorian period, but they show some of the battles. This is Balaclava, which is one of the bloodiest battles in the Crimea, and Britain and France and Turkey and Russia then. So Turkey were being defended by these two countries. So you don't have to be too confused, because from our perspective we're usually talking about the British and Russian war, okay? And you might have heard about the charge of the Light Brigade. And in that battle the cavalry sort of charged guns and did a really foolish charge, really, but it was seen as sort of glorious at the time, because at the time it's different to how things are today in our mindset of what war is. At the time it was seen as something glorious and honourable, even a sort of death or glory charge that this was, okay? And another sort of memorialised scene of the battle is the thin red line, which is some of the Scottish troops in the British Army defending against the Russians, okay? So what does that tell us from that period? And what does it tell us about even 40, 50 years ago when these cards were made? They're still showing a sort of, it's not ideal really, it's a sort of showing glorious battle, you know? And we know now these battles were horrible places to be in, you know, and the wounds that were inflicted were awful, and people like Betty Cadwaladr and Florence Nightingale then would have had to treat these troops coming off the front lines. I would like to think now that you can carry on doing some of your own research. There's a video which sort of sums up the entire war, and it's in an animation. It's quite unusual. It's about 10 minutes long. You don't have to watch all of it, but I would like you to watch the first bit, okay? It just shows the lead up to the war. And you can do some of your own research then, okay? And of course follow through the rest of the tasks and the lessons. And if there's any trouble, if you're not sure about something, please do email me as well. So thank you very much, Year 7, and I hope you get on okay with the rest of the tasks. Ta-da!